Drage gledalke, dragi gledalci, pozdravljeni v Paradi plesa. Tokratna oddaja vam prinaša ekskluzivno reportažo z Dunajskega festivala sodobnega plesa ImPulsTanz. Letošnji se je odvijal med 7. julijem in 7. avgustom. 39. izvedba pa je prinesla kot vedno množico plesnih predstav, tako uveljavljenih kot še neznanih plesnih ustvarjalcev, aktivnih udeležencev plesnih delavnic, razstav, promocij knjig, avdicij, druženja. Festival je že dolgo nazaj prerasel okvirje normalnega ogleda, saj je program res natrpan. A enega od ustanoviteljev in direktorja festivala, Karla Regensburgerja, množica plesa seveda navdušuje in je eden tistih, ki mesec dni bolj malo spi, a je na koncu festivala vedno zadovoljen.
Happiness, really happiness, not just being zufrieden, which means being satisfied, it's really happiness. And for the first time I feel a bit sad that it's coming to an end. I would have loved to continue 2 weeks more. So many people still want to see things and we are running out of tickets, which makes me always, on one hand, happy that it's the situation like this. On the other hand, I'm very sad that, I don't know, hundreds of people can't see what they want to see in the last days, because we are really complete and we have in the theaters 45,000 visitors, we have in the workshops 42,000 visitors, and additive to this we have more than 50,000 people who are coming to events which are free of charge, so altogether nearly 140,000 people, which is quite impressive. And I didn't expect this, that we now are making the most successful festival, even more successful than pre-pandemic, 2019. We have much more people now, and that's really astonishing. And it was a difficult situation, so the COVID didn't leave us alone. We had to improvise a lot, but everybody was jumping in for the other and doing home office and returning after 5-6 days. So it was really I'm full of love after this festival.
Letos mineva že drugi festival brez legendarnega plesalca, koreografa in pedagoga Ismaila Iva, ki je lani aprila preminul zaradi zapletov s korono. Njemu v čast je bila posvečena in izdana tudi knjiga Johannesa Odenthala Ich glaube an der Körper. Ismailov duh seveda živi dalje in večina sodelujočih pedagogov ali performerjev na festivalu mu je hvaležna, saj jim je pomagal pri njihovih karierah in bil z njimi tesno povezan. Festival običajno obiščem zadnji teden dni, natančno pregledam promocijske napovednike izvajalcev, izločim tiste, ki bi vznemirile mojega duha in vas, dragi gledalke in gledalci, in držim pesti, da sem izbrala tiste, ki bodo odkrili še kaj novega. Letošnji tedenski izbor se mi mogoče niti ni ravno posrečil, saj sem od 8 tako imenovanih plesnih predstav doživela res samo eno plesno. Takšen je še vedno svetovni trend. Več ne giba kot giba. A to ni zmotilo mojega dunajskega raziskovanja, ki vam ga predstavljam v naslednjih minutah. Prvo, ki sem si ogledala, je bila kanadska koreografinja Clara Furey in predstava Dog Rising, ter brazilka Ana Pi, ki se je z Divine Chiper uvrstila v selekcijo mladih koreografov 8 Tension. Za obe boste zagotovo še slišali, saj sta poželi ogromno simpatij in velike aplavze.
It's really, really an honor and always so inspiring because it's so big. You see so many artists, I get to see so many shows and get replenished, get re-inspired. It always gives me a big kick and love for my work. I would say it's energetic work, and it's really like lights and sound and choreography work autonomously together to create some kind of a whole thing. They take a lot of space in the work, so it's a pulsing piece, it's a pulsing work, and it's very much based on pleasure, groove, and endurance.
So when you create a piece, do you have in mind the audience, or you just want to realize your idea?
Both. I have in mind the audience. I do not want to be totally obscure. I want it to translate and be porous, but I do follow radically what I also want to do, and I believe in the audience capacity to receive.
I consider myself already as a winner in life by having this way, carrying this body that I have, and doing sharing with people about poetry. So this is something that I really care about, but more objectively, if I have this invitation with the grant, it will be support to keep doing the work in a different way, and I think, and I hope in an abundant way, to make some details of structure more strong.
Če se je na odrih nekoliko bolj malo plesalo, pa je v arzenalu v starih vojaških skladiščih buhtelo od plesa. Skoraj 230 plesnih delavnic vseh stilov za vse stopnje, od neplesalcev do profesionalcev, je moralo zadostovati. Fia Lozin je skupaj z Rijom Rucingerjem zadolžena za aktivno plesišče.
We try to, on the one hand, have a lot of the performers also teach, as long as they are willing to do that. And we try to get the right diversity of people that are used to teach and to teaching, and people that are just more or less thrown into it. As well as, of course, I mean, with certain styles we have our rooster and it stays, like ballet, modern, they stay the same, and we are like, we don't like feel the need to bring someone new. But yeah, that's also one of the important things, to have people that are new to us, make communities grow. Like this year we had voguing every week. That was important to us, to have this local community, which is really growing like in the last few years.
V arzenalu čas teče drugače kot kje druge na Dunaju in vedno znova je vznemirljivo ter ganljivo srečati tiste, ki so od nekdaj del festivala ImPulsTanz. Eden takšnih je zagotovo prepoznavni plesalec v Madoninih spotih Salim Gavlos, ki je bil tudi rekorder med pedagogi. Saj je v mesecu dni odvodil natančno 61 plesnih delavnic s fuzijo sodobnega džeza.
Life inspires me, people inspire me, just everything inspires me, and it just keeps me going. And, you know, like I always say, dance is it's such a special thing, You don't have to be a good dancer, for me, dance is like the highest meditation. It's like the highest form of meditation almost, You connect, because, a lot of stuff gets recorded in your body from daily runs, your work and everything, then it gets recorded in your muscles and your brain. And after you dance, it releases it and you feel like a new person. Yeah, that's what I always tell people, go dance, any kind of dance, and it just lets you go, and it connects you to something higher. Things change, the kids change, the way they get trained changes, and just the movement, it gets all a little weird, and some people like it, they can relate to it, but other people, we want to see some lines, we just want to see some more dancing. Maybe you could call it old school, but But I have the same thing with me. That's why a lot of times I don't go see performances, because I know it's like, I don't want to see them, or they're naked. I'm like, I don't want to see a naked person,
That we do in the past,
Yeah, I did a performance one time, and the person who reviewed the showcase, it was all different choreographers, and she said, when a choreographer doesn't know what to do anymore, he asks his dancers to take their clothes off.
Delavnico Salima je zadnji teden obiskala tudi nekdanja plesalka Slovenka Tjaša Ornik, ki živi na Dunaju.
Ples v bistvu predstavlja že od nekdaj zelo pomemben del mojega življenja, mojega vsakdanja. Sem plesala tudi na srednji glasbeni in baletni šoli in jo dokončala. Zatem pa žal nisem mogla nadaljevati profesionalne plesne poti zaradi poškodbe. Tako da sem skušala vedno nekako najti različne workshope, plesne studije, kjer sem lahko ob delu, ob službi tudi plesala. Pred letom dni pa sem se preselila na Dunaj in so mi tudi prijatelji tukaj takoj povedali, Tjaša, moraš iti na ImPulsTanz, super izkušnja ti bo. In plesne vaje tukaj so res na zelo visokem, na profesionalnem nivoju, kar je kar težko najti, ker je večinoma studijev bolj amaterskih. Tako da ja, zakaj salim? Slišala sem za njega odlične reference, je odličen koreografer, profesor, res uči na zelo, zelo visokem nivoju in užitek je plesati z njim. Sem pa iskala tudi vrsto plesa, ki ni klasični balet, kot sem ga vajena odprej, ampak bolj contemporary z močno baletno tehniko.
Redna delovna obiskovalka ImPulsTanza pa je seveda plesalka, koreografinja in pedagoginja Urša Rupnik, dolgoletna asistentka Joa Legada, ki je hvaležna, da se je ponovno vrnila v dunajski poletni ritem.
Vzdušje je tako, kot vedno super, vreme imamo fenomenalno, ogromno ljudi, mi imamo vse klase totalno polne, ogromno izbire, tako da super.
Spet smo zaradi korone, ko smo bili lokalnega značaja, je bil festival, prišli na mednarodni. Se čuti letošnji mednarodni utrip?
Ja, spet je cel svet združen v Dunaju, tako da je mešanica vsega. Ja.
Letos se mi zdi, da so skoraj da vsi tečaji, workshopi zelo polni. Čemu pripisuješ to?
Ja, po eni strani verjetno to, da so se koronski ukrepi dosti sprostili, tako da je možno priti spet z vsega sveta. In verjetno tudi to, da so ljudje željni plesnega udejstvovanja, plesnega ustvarjanja, plesanja.
Kakšna je kakovost recimo udeležencev, ki delajo s tabo, ki delajo z Joe?
Prejšnje tedne, ko smo imeli Advanced plus klase, so seveda plesni profesionalci, nekateri že dlje časa delajo z Joe, tako da je res užitek spet srečati vse te ljudi in tudi na dosti visokem nivoju izvesti delavnico, skupaj plesati, uživati. Potem imamo beginners, ki so vedno fenomenalne grupe, to so pač ljudi, grdo je, če rečem, navadni ljudje, ampak ne plesalci, iz vseh možnih vetrov, vseh možnih poklicev in profesij in pač pridejo na ta festival zase, odkrivati nove stvari skozi svoje telo, se učiti skozi svoje telo in to je vedno fenomenalna izkušnja od tega, da v ponedeljek ne vejo, kaj je desna, leva, gor, dol, v petek plešejo, kot da so, ne vem, že profesionalni plesalci.
Zelo močna je bila angleška pedagoška smer, ki sta jo predstavljala energična Shade Lane iz dueta dvojčic Lane Dance, katere izraz je predan telesni kreaciji, in Josea Gudo, ki vedno znova navdušuje s prepletenostjo indijskega kataka in španskega flamenka v plesni poeziji.
It's beautiful every year to meet dancers, sometimes dancers that come back again to the workshops, and you see the development as a beautiful artist, and and as well to meet new dancers, and to celebrate the power of dance. Especially that's where for me rely the power, the dance with the rhythm. That is the core.
I think it's the festival as a whole, so you have the amazing ImPulsTanz team, but everyone in the workshops are coming for the same reason, for dance. And what's even more beautiful is just where we are in the surroundings and the activities, the shows, the common spaces, and even just the local shops. They know that ImPulsTanz is happening. So you do start to make kind of long-term relationships, and all of those factors, plus the sun, adds to feeling like it's your summer home. It feels like you're home every year. The dance never disappears. I think that's the main thing of my teaching. If it's teaching, I like to say travel guide. So I guide the participants to somewhere. But it doesn't matter where you're moving, as long as you're moving. We don't have to wait for opportunities to move. I think I'm always trying to teach that everything starts from joy, everything starts from passion, and then opportunities come from there. Definitely ImPulsTanz gives such a beautiful opportunity to meet, and even the performances as well. If we're lucky enough to perform here, you're not just sharing through close proximity, but you're sharing through like a grand opening, which is beautiful.
Ples zagotovo ne bo izginil, ga pa uspešno nadomeščajo tudi nove prakse, naprimer joga. Zato mogoče ni naključje, da sem mednarodno koreografsko zvezdo iz Francije Matilde Monnier srečala na Kreti, ko sva se skupaj udeležili joga prakse v vasi Terca. Matilda je tam nabirala nova znanja z logistko Kijo in se pripravljala na nastop na dunajskem ImPulsu, kjer je predstavila svojo novo kreacijo Records in je velika ljubljenka dunajskega občinstva.
It's amazing how this practice has really spread in the dance practice. I think there is something in yoga that it's very interesting because you have together dynamic, stretching, like a lot of very interesting exercise, but also the mind is also involved in it. So you have like in a few movements, you have everything that what we need as a dancer. But I think it's a little dangerous too. because then we all have the same practice, you know, and then we are missing something from dance. I think there is something we have to go back to, like how we can practice every day, dance warm-up, and it's a little easy just to go to yoga, like stretching, you know, this kind of thing. So, well, I need to go back to my practice. I am always surprised by young choreographer. You know, I have to say, I mean, I have all my students also that became all, I mean, most of them, a lot of them are choreographer, artists, interpret, a choreographic artist, that's how we call them. And I'm really interested because I think there are a lot of very good work, I have to say, in very different directions. What I can see from dance now, there is not, as we knew at my time, like there are one or two mainstream of dance. Now there are many, as much as there are choreographers. And before there was like abstraction, I don't know, like a dance theater, whatever, you know. And everybody was in one line, and now I feel it's completely different. I mean, there are much more topics in dance, and I'm really interested in the work of some South American choreographers. I think they are really, really rich. They bring something new. Well, dance is my life. You know, I've been dancing since my 20s, so I've been dancing all my life. I've been choreographing all my life, exchanging with people, students, young people, old people. And yeah, even though I stopped for 6 years, I had to go back.
Organizatorji veliko pozornost namenjajo vsem oblikam hip-hopa in klubskih stilov. Oče voginga Archie Burnett prihaja na festival že od leta 2010, ameriška zvezda Comfort Fedoki pa nekaj let manj, a oba imata zveste privržence.
Oh man, it means the world to come here as an instructor because everyone here is so receptive to the movement. Even if, like, no matter how old or young they are, you can just tell they're enjoying themselves, and the energy that I give, they actually give it right back. So I'm never actually like drained from class, and the classes are like an hour and a half long. And so just to have the energy of the people here and how they give it back to me, it just feels so good. I'm from another country, you know what I mean? I'm from a whole nother place, and we don't all speak the same language, but it shows you that dance is so universal.
Yes. Especially hip-hop, yeah?
Yeah, especially hip-hop. Hip-hop being universal, but then also being able to come and teach an understanding of hip-hop, because a lot of people get confused as to thinking like hip-hop is very particular, like hardcore or whatever, and it's like, yeah, it comes from a state of you know, rawness, and it comes from a place of, you know, of depth with New York and actually, you know, what had happened out there and why hip hop became such a voice for the people in certain communities, in black and brown communities. It became a voice for the people. But at the same time, when it comes down to the movement, hip hop derived from the 70s. So it derived from like that like disco era, you know what I mean? So everyone was always dancing and grooving, Donna Summer, you know? So like it like derived from there, and then it kind of, you know, turned into its own, you know, entity. But we don't ever want to lose the actual dance and that groove and that bounce and that rock. And I think that's what I enjoy teaching the most, is the simple stuff, because the simple stuff is actually the hardest.
ImPulsTanz, to me, ImPulsTanz is fun. It's interesting to grow something from 2010 to now. I see people are more, you know, I think people are more open to stepping out of your box and trying different things and allowing yourself to feel more. Because I think, you know, when you do these how do you say, these workshops and stuff like that, it's like, well, the choreographer or the teacher gives you something and you repeat it, blah, 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 blah. But I think now, at least where I'm concerned, every time I come here, I share a little bit of my life with the class, and they share their life with me. That's important. So I think community now has been built, or has been building since the first time I came here. So I'm happy and proud to see that. I mean, it's great. I love it. I love it.
What about the students?
Let me tell you, you know what? Here's the deal. I get the best part, because I get to see them grow from point A to point B. It's amazing to see the transformation when you come in at the beginning of the week to the end of the week. And a few of these kids, I've seen them, wow, I guess, for the last 10 years, and to see their progress, what they've done, what they've even built for themselves, it's amazing.
Tako Arči kot Comfort pa imata seveda tudi svoje mnenje o breakingu kot bodočem olimpijskem športu, ki bo prvič predstavljen v Parizu leta 2024.
Oh man, breaking for the Olympics is going to be crazy. I don't know how they're going to. You know what? I'm all for it. I'm happy to see dance now truly be recognized as a sport. You know, I mean, in a sense of athlete, like we're athletes. You know what I mean? Dancers are athletes, no matter what anybody wants to say. Because I'm tired, I'm working my muscles, my quads, my hamstrings, everything works as much as any athlete would work. Yeah, and so to have the breakers be in the Olympics. All I know is they're just going to have certain judges that know exactly what they're talking about. And I think, of course, as long as they get, like, you know, some real OG judges that really understand the dynamics and every technicality that's supposed to go into, you know, breaking, we'll see how it is. Because, you know, dance is so subjective at times. But breaking is a style that if you, like, crash or do anything, those are points deducted. If you, like, you know, burn or move, like whatever. So like they just need judges that know what they're talking about, and hopefully it doesn't dilute it. But I think it's gonna blow people's minds, because let me tell you something, breakers define gravity.
They're only doing that because it's popular among the youth. That's the only reason. They're not doing it because they think, yeah, we're with the young people to do. No, they're not doing that. Youth culture has always been the culture that changes things, you know? So, oh yeah, we gotta have a hand in that. That's another tapped resource to play with. They're not doing it because, you know what? We really have the affinity for that. No, because that system, the kids have been doing that on their own for years. So think about it. You have a system that's already working. Why do we need you to come in here and say, oh, well, we'll make it official and put our stamp on it that this is legit? That's some bullshit. Why would you do that? You know? It's better to say, listen, you guys, you've been doing this thing for a long time. You know, you should take the reins in that. How is somebody doesn't even know, you know, how to twist the flex or anything like that is going to stand there and judge you? Oh, I give the degree of difficulty 10.9. You never did that. So how are you going to give the degree of difficulty? You see what I'm saying? Look, I'm not hating, I'm just stating. There's always an opportunity to get it right. I think if they waited until the next Olympics, they could have gotten it right. I think they're pushing it too quick.
Veščine, ki jih uči Belgijec Damien Halle, bi prišle prav marsikateremu breakerju. Damien je namreč sinonim za posebno telesno strategijo. Poleg poučevanja je predstavil ta vsestranski umetnik še plesno filmsko kreacijo Mist za nizozemski plesni ansambel snemano na Japonskem ter knjigo Vessel Mist Planet.
With the situation with the pandemic, a lot of people came back to the medium of film and video. I'm happy that this is not a video, but a proper film. And I don't know if indeed, I guess there's already a tradition in making dance films. I wanted also to do a film that is not just a dance film, but it's also a film that captures at one point the relationship between the work of a visual artist and a choreographic artist. So it's also a bit like an installation. It's also a little bit, I wouldn't mind deconstructing some aspect of it and have it presented more as an ongoing, like installation. So I don't know. Yes, there is a connection with that tradition, yet also there's a bit of an experimentation of something that is a conversation between visual art and dance as well. I really cherish that moment because it doesn't happen so often for me anymore, that I'm much more busy doing creations or touring works, but I really love this energy that's been generated in those studios with people coming from all over the world and meeting for 5 days. You understand how much you can nourish also and the dancers that come in. For me, it's a great also way to tune in with the dance world, to just discover new dancers, to see who is naturally attracted by my work and then therefore be able to sometimes be surprised and want to continue developing collaboration with some dancers I meet here. So I always like that. I think it's very good karma to teach.
Kaj povedati za konec? Mogoče nekaj fascinantnih številk. Budžet festivala je še vedno 7,5 milijona evrov in med 7. julijem in 7. avgustom se je zvrstilo 122 predstav, ki si jih je ogledalo malo več kot 45,000 obiskovalcev v gledališčih in muzejih. Skoraj 97% obiskanost je fascinantna. V arzenalu starih vojaških skladiščih se je zvrstilo 230 delavnic in raziskovalnih projektor in je doseglo obiskanost 42,100 plesa željne publike. Organizatorji so še posebej ponosni na številko 16,400, ki se jih je udeležilo na tako imenovani Public Moves. Teh je bilo 128 in med njimi tudi Attila Aziz.
We have to say it every time. Graffiti, rap, DJ and dance.
Yes. So what do you feel about public moves? It's a good opportunity.
It's perfect. It's every time a really nice experience because the people are open. They can learn from each other, and to the music, just dance. It's so important.
Skupaj se je torej v različnih akcijah udeležilo letošnjega impulza 140,000 ljudi. Teme predstav ostajajo tradicionalno aktualne. Begunci, seksualnost, LGBT skupnost, socialna neenakost in politika. Nagrado za mladega koreografa sta prejela brazilska umetnika David Pontes in Wallace Ferreira za predstavo, v kateri nastopata gola kot samoobramba s plesom na obrobju Rio de Janeira. Priplesala sta si nagrado v višini 5,000 evrov in mesečno rezidenco prihodnje leto.
Mednarodni plesni festival ImPulsTanz bo drugo leto praznoval 40. rojstni dan in se bo odvijal med 6. julijem in 6. avgustom 2023. Organizatorji napovedujejo mnoga presenečenja. Presenečenja bodo tudi v naši naslednji oddaji, ki si jo lahko ogledate čez 14 dni, ker veste, da je dan s plesom odličen dan. Lep plesni živjo, do prihodnjič.